Hi, I'm Joy.
Hi, I'm Lorraine.
And this is Girlish Gurus. And Lorraine, why are we here?
We're here to talk about mid-lifestyle topics for women who are 45 and older to help you live your best, healthiest, and most fulfilled life. We're also going to have lots of fun along the way.
So let's get started.
Here we are.
Here we are, yes. Okay. Yes. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Girlish Gurus. I'm Joy.
And I'm Lorraine.
Lorraine, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about igniting your imagination and creativity.
Yay.
Yay. So I wrote a little blurb about exactly what we were going to be talking about. So I'm just going to read a little bit. And then we're going to talk about some articles that we found about this phase of life and creativity. So in this episode, we explore how women in their third phase of life can awaken their creative spirit and infuse their everyday experiences with adventure and meaningful connection, which we have.
Yes,
which we
absolutely.
do.
Well, all the time.
Yeah. We dive into our own stories of pursuing our passions, trying something entirely new, and building thriving communities like Girlish Gurus.
Right.
So we want to encourage you to listen to this episode, maybe get some practical ideas. Maybe you've been thinking about creating something or pursuing a new passion or picking up an old passion that maybe now you have more time for. So I think how we're going to get started is there's an article by Mark Yeager posted on LinkedIn, and it's called The Encore Stage, Redefining Life's Third Act. And it's a short article. We'll put a link to it. But basically, he talks about the third act or third age, which denotes a transformative phase in life. And we talk about it all the time.
Oh, yeah, all the time. Yeah.
So, and it's marked by individuals, he says, seeking purpose, passion, and a deep desire to make a difference in the post-retirement stage of their lives. And not necessarily post-retirement, because there's so many people that continue to work on into these years. And if you're age 45 or older, this pertains to you.
Right.
Okay, so it's basically a pivotal stage. And it says it typically begins in one's mid-50s and early 60s, but I think I see it happening even earlier.
Yes.
People pivot and they change careers. You see it all the time, like on social media. I'm doing this now. I've decided to do this. I've found a new creative outlet or a new purpose. And so this phase of our life is usually when that will happen.
Well, back in the day, you used to get a job and stay in that job for 30 years and then retire. And now that's not the case anymore.
Yeah. And they said some of it is because of healthcare advancements, right? People are living longer, maybe healthier. According to a study by the Stanford Center on Longevity, there are 20% more people aged over 65 in the United States compared to those under 5.
That's crazy to think about.
So it's an increasing population. I think they're taking better care of themselves. They want to experience things. And if you have a chance, listen to our last episode about making experiences your top priority rather than materialistic things, right? We want to have those experiences with the people that we love. And it said this demographic shift combined with the desire of older adults to remain active and productive has facilitated the rise of the Encore stage. So who are the people in the Encore stage?
Us.
Yes. All walks of life.
Right.
Right? Some may be empty nesters. Some may be that sandwich generation, divorced, widowed, different things that have happened in our lives. And Joy and I have had the opportunity of being on retreats with women who were in every phase of that. We shared time with women that were widowed, that were divorced.
Empty nesters.
And we all connected. We all shared things in common. And we're all looking for like that adventure in life. So part of creativity, I think, is the passions that we have, whether it be travel, spending time with people, and we share a lot of time with each other and experiences with each other. But what we're going to talk about a little bit today is, and I've been reading Joy's
Oh, have you?
Yes, manuscript. So why don't you talk a little bit about the book that you're writing, because that is your most recent passion, I think.
Okay. So we are big creatives around here at Girlish Gurus. I know you are too. Mm-hmm. And I started out life as a licensed attorney practicing. And really, the thing I wanted to do when I was a kid is I wanted to tell stories, basically. And so I put that aside and instead pursued my law degree. And as I've gotten older and as things have happened in my life and I've been able to pursue my creative passions since then, I decided I was going to start writing again. And mostly I started doing it because it was an opportunity for me to unhook my brain from all the things that were going on in my life.
Right, the daily stresses.
Right.
Yeah. It was an outlet.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot was going on with my dad. In fact, my sister and I posted a couple of episodes back a couple of years ago when things started unraveling with my dad, who's in his 80s. And we talked about it pretty candidly. And so I decided I was going to sit down and write about it because I feel like it's something that can ultimately help other people once I get it polished up and
actually
worth reading.
This is your second book.
Well, no, this is my... hang on a second. Let me think about this. Okay. My first book was Money Basics. My second book was Parents' Guide to Better Borrowing.
Oh, right.
Right. And then I wrote FaceTime for Seniors, which is a little booklet, which...
Oh my gosh, how did I forget about those two things?
I don't know. Well, because
I actually bought them for my kids.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I did. I autographed all of them.
The FaceTime for Seniors I did for my parents.
Well, there you go. And I wrote that so that my in-laws could learn how to use their Apple devices.
Yeah.
Then I also wrote a book called Practicing. Actually, I wrote that second. I wrote Money Basics and then I wrote Practicing, I think. Anyway, Practicing is sort of the first in my macaroni trilogy, and it's all about my experiences.
Okay, wait a minute. How did I not know about this book?
I don't know. I don't know.
How do I not know about this book?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, we're learning something new today.
Well, I haven't. Now, the personal finance books, those I have published in the FaceTime for Seniors. That's just like a little pamphlet. That's really not, I don't know that I would call it a book necessarily, but it's a booklet. The Practicing book, that's still at the editing stage. I haven't published it anywhere.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know that I kind of wrote it and then put it aside and forgot about it.
I don't think you ever shared with me.
Oh, well, I should.
Yeah.
But in my mind, that is second from Badger.
Okay.
So I just finished a manuscript called Badger Him, and that is about my dad, and that is just a first draft. And that's the one that you're working on reading right now.
I'm enjoying it.
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's a heavy book, but I am enjoying your writing style, and it's keeping me very interested. So, yeah.
Well, it really needs a huge amount of work, but the first draft is completed. So I have given it out to a few beta readers, people who I care about, and so far I'm getting good feedback. But yeah, that's 80,000 words right now, and it took me probably a year and a half to write it all the way, maybe just a little over a year, and it's been a really great experience. It was quite therapeutic in many ways. I was just going to
say that, yeah. I'm sure it was therapeutic.
And it has dipped my toe back into the creative writing world, which is probably something I should have maybe been doing all along, but that's easy for me to say because now
it's a time for everything.
Right. Now I'm looking backward on a law career and et cetera, and I wouldn't trade my law degree or any of that experience for anything in the world. It's been very, very useful, and I'm glad I did it. But at the same time, I really do believe I'm right where I'm supposed to be doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And so actually, since that time, since I finished Badger, I've started a new story. Oh. This is fiction, and I'm writing a detective story.
Oh, cool.
Just for the fun of it.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. Right? There's so many different passions that people pursue. Writing is a big one for a lot of people.
And it's a big one for you, too.
Yeah. Well, I wrote The Magic of Menopause, and I am writing a second menopause book, but also, and I had shared this with you a long time ago, but I've been inspired. You've inspired me. And I'm like, I'm going to write that fiction book that I want to. So I can't say too much about it right now because it's like one of these books where the ending, it's like a surprise ending. But I mean, I had shared it with you. So anyway, I am very inspired by you. I said, you know what? I've been wanting to do this, and I think this will be therapeutic for me just to write this because it's fiction combined with real life stories of family and different things.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
That's going to be good.
Yeah. So
your ideas are so much better than mine.
Oh, stop
It's true.
No, just
I can't
stop it. I'm proud of us.
I'm proud of us too.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is one of our creative outlets, right?
This is a huge creative outlet.
The Girlish Gurus. And we hope that you enjoy it because we do. We do a lot. Mm-hmm. And we love sharing it with you.
And the number one reason why I think it's important to share all of this is because if we can do it, so can you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So in this article, I wanted to share something. He wrote, so people in the Encore stage are characterized by a broad spectrum of interests and activities that often align with their desire to make a significant societal contribution.
There it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And many pivot towards roles in nonprofit organizations, education, healthcare, which I love.
Yes.
We know that I love doing all the research and writing.
Thank God.
And community development, and driven by a desire to give back. And I know we talk about that. The fact that, for instance, when I wrote The Magic of Menopause, I was a health coach, which I'm still a health coach, but I'm not doing one-on-one coaching anymore. But what I do have is this community, a private support group where I do free challenges, and I love interacting and helping the women in that group because so many of them are not getting the help that they need at the doctor's office or from people that they know and love, but they don't have that connection of how are you going to help me with my menopause? How are you going to help me with my health?
Well, it's not something we've talked about as a society.
Right. Yeah. And I love, right now we have a Planksgiving challenge going on, which I love because we're getting healthy, but we're also giving thanks. So we're doing a plank every day and then giving thanks. I give a little prompt on let's give thanks for today. It was a mentor that helped you, or yesterday was a song that meant something to you. So very simple things, but putting our focus on giving thanks to something particular that day. I just love that connection with the ladies and the potential that I'm maybe inspiring and helping women in there.
Well, Money Basics was about that.
Right.
That book is about basic personal finance. And those are things I learned being a bankruptcy attorney for 20 years, nearly 20 years. So I wrote that book because I had information to give to people that could genuinely help them live better, healthier, happier lives all the way around. So this whole endeavor started because I wanted to continue helping people in a different kind of way. Yeah. And actually, the books I'm writing, that's the same thing. I'm doing the same thing with these books. So,
and I wanted to make a comment about, so before you said you wouldn't trade anything like being a lawyer, getting the law degree, whatever, that's how we met. Because
that's right.
Because we met in a networking group.
That's right.
And it was because you had your law practice. I was a health coach. So if you hadn't done that, we might not have met there.
That is true.
So that's our connection.
Right. That is true.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even think about that. But it's funny how your life works out. Mm-hmm. Back then, would you and I have looked at each other and said, in a few years, we're going to be on a podcast together?
Right.
Probably not.
I was thinking about, and because yesterday I went to the eye doctor. Now, do you remember when I first met you? We were in the networking group, and I didn't really know you that well at all. And then I ran into you because we both go to the same eye doctor, and you were trying to pick out, you probably don't even remember this.
I don't.
You were trying to pick out a pair of frames, and I had just heard something, and I said this to you, and I'm laughing now when I think about it. You said, I'm having a hard time picking out frames. And I said, somebody told me that you need to get frames like cat eye or where they go up on the edges because it gives you an instant facelift.
Oh, well, I definitely need them now.
And that's exactly what I did yesterday. And I had the girl laughing. I said, okay, I picked out these frames. And I said, but look, when I put these on, my face goes up just a little bit.
Holy smokes, I don't remember.
Yeah.
You remember that. I don't remember that.
Yeah. And I was just chuckling to myself yesterday because I remember that. And I'm like, I wonder what she thought when I said that. Did she think I thought she needed a facelift?
You know what I think about you? And I have thought this about you from the very beginning. You are such a fun, delightful, uplifting person. And I thought it even then. So I'm sure we had a big laugh about it because, I'm always looking for the laugh for sure. That's the other thing. I care about the story, but I also care about the laugh. I'm the first one to make the joke.
But creativity connects people.
Yes.
Right? And after that, our creative endeavors led us, and this is how we actually became closer friends. I said to you, there's a writer's, because I knew you wrote your book.
Right.
And I
Money
had just
Basics,
published
yep.
mine. And I said, there's a writer's conference in Pittsburgh. Do you want to go? And you were like, yeah. So the two of us, we hardly knew each other at the time, right?
Right.
And we
In a car.
Right, in a car. Told our 7 hours in the car.
That's right.
And
One
7
way.
hours. Right. So we had a total of 14 hours to get to know each
That's
other
right.
and just gab and talk. I remember when we got there, because I hate driving in cities, and I said, can you drive? I said,
yeah.
I'll drive all the way there and all the way back. Can you drive around the city? Because I hate driving city streets. And we did. And we were trying to find a hill.
Oh,
to
and
go
we did find it.
We found it, but then we couldn't find our way back off the hill or
and
something.
don't you remember how high that hill was?
Yes, and it was dark, pitch black. And
And
we're
I'm
just
driving and I'm white knuckling it on this hill. Yeah.
But anyway, that connection that we had, because we were both with our writing, pursuing that passion, we became such close friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember getting up when we went to the networking group the next week, and I said something about,
Oh, I know what you said.
yeah, what exactly?
You said, we just got back from Pitch, Publish, and Promote
Right.
in Pittsburgh, and I went with Joy, and I definitely have to up my pajama game.
Right. Because I think you came with feathers.
No, not feathers.
Not feathers. Silk.
I was wearing my Steven Tyler pajamas. My
Okay,
Aerosmith pajamas.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
they're
feathers
leopard
were
print.
another time.
No, not feathers.
Maybe that was me.
No, when we went to New York
Yeah.
for Blog Her,
Yes.
I took my pink polka dot silk ones.
Okay. Yeah. And we actually had to share a bed on that.
That's
one.
right. And
So
then
we
we go
actually-
back to the networking group, and Lorraine's like, we slept together. Oh, boy. Which,
Fun
by the way,
times.
ladies, don't buy pajamas. You have to dry clean. Not for nothing.
Oh,
but-
is that what they were? You
yeah,
had to
they're
try-
silk. You've got to dry clean them.
Oh, but there is washable silk.
Yeah, there is, but not
There
those.
is washable silk. Okay. Okay.
That's
I
just
actually
a-
have my eyes on a pair right now. Nice green color.
Ooh,
but
very
yeah,
nice.
Yeah. But,
Just a little tidbit there. Just
Yeah.
don't buy pajamas you have to dry clean.
but just know if you're pursuing creative outlets that you may just make one of the best friends of your life.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So this stage is not without challenges, he goes on to say. And financial security is a concern for many Encore adults. And despite a willingness to work, age discrimination can pose employment challenges. Health issues may also limit activities. And also the balance of family responsibilities, which we know, right? We've just discussed all that.
Right.
Especially caring for aging parents.
That's a big, poignant issue
yeah.
for me right now. Yeah.
But he goes on to say they're not insurmountable. Okay, so research by Encore.org and MetLife Foundation revealed that nearly 9 million people ages 44 to 70 are engaged in Encore careers that combine personal meaning, continued income, and social impact. So your creative outlet may actually lead to financial stability, could,
Right.
right?
Supplement your income. Yep.
And successful Encore adults often employ a mixture of planning, flexibility, and resilience. They leverage their networks, skills, and experience to create opportunities, whether it's a new business, volunteering role, or a part-time job that aligns with their passions.
All of that is true. And I do want to point something out from that comment. He says those challenges are not insurmountable. And he's right. Part of the reason I finished my book, Badger Him, is because I was involved in helping to care for my father-in-law and my in-laws generally for this whole nearly
Past year.
And at night, when I was looking for something, a creative outlet, I was looking for something to help me deal with the difficulties and the complex emotions and all of that comes along with life-changing events. I would sit down to write because that really helped me keep my sanity. It helped me keep my mind right. I could go off into that world of creativity and I could go off and think about sentence structure and just all those other things that fold into creative storytelling and have some therapy moments thinking about my own elderly father while we were dealing with my father-in-law and just trying to reconcile all of that. And the storytelling really, really helped me. So much so that since he's passed away, my father-in-law, unfortunately, we lost him in October. Since he passed away, I've started a new fiction book to help me stay grounded and just have mental outlets where I can go to escape
and that's
difficulties.
That's an important conversation. Many of these things can help us emotionally, can help us to deal with other things that are happening in our lives. It's an outlet rather than maybe, well, I know for me, I know sometimes, you overthink things and the anxiety comes and everything else. And to have those outlets, to have those creative outlets, not only does it make you feel good, you could be helping other people, inspiring other people. And it could just help our overall health.
Your mental health. I make it a point to write every day if I can.
And leading into that, there was an article published in PubMed examining arts and creativity in later life and its impact on older people's health and well-being. So there's a growing recognition of the contribution that participation in group-based arts and creativity interventions makes to our health and well-being. And despite this acknowledgement, more empirical investigation is required to more fully understand its impact. So the aim of this study, this mixed method systematic review, was to develop a better understanding of the evidence on the impact of the arts and creativity on older people's physical and psychological health and well-being. So the results were that dance was the most common form of arts identified within the studies, followed by music and singing. Dance was associated with improved balance, lower body, physical strength, flexibility, and aerobic fitness in older adults. And promising evidence showed that music and singing on a regular basis were associated with improved cognitive function, quality of life, affective states, and a sense of well-being in older adults.
So that's coming at it from the other side, and look at the benefits that it gives you if you can participate in those kinds of activities. Yeah.
And I know for me, I love dancing.
Ooh, not me.
Love it. You don't?
No. Have you ever seen me dance?
Oh,
no, you haven't.
I absolutely love it. And I married someone who is like you, who does not like it, but he loves to watch me dance because he... Okay, that does... Okay, let's go. All right, let's go. Blooper. Okay, he loves to watch me enjoy dancing.
No, Lorraine. No.
That's not how I meant it. Okay, children, close your ears. No. It doesn't bother him.
No. Wait a minute. Oh my God, Lorraine. This is going to be an R-rated
You're
podcast.
bad.
No, you're the one who did it. I was going to let it go. You're the one who did it. Oh my God. Oh boy.
Okay.
You did this to yourself. You did it to yourself.
And even if that was true, that's okay. But
I'm just saying.
But I'm talking about if I'm at a wedding or I'm whatever, he likes that I enjoy having a good time dancing. I'll dance with my girlfriends and whoever. And I just love to. I love movement. I love the way it makes me feel. I used to just plan dance parties because I just love to dance.
Well,
it was a reason to dance.
Anyone who can get on our YouTube channel and see the Donny Osmond video.
Oh, yes.
That when I still had time to make the videos. And I did the Donny Osmond video. That's you putting together a Donny Osmond dance group when you're in middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it. That took...
Hysterical.
That took up so much of our time. And I think back now, it was like such a healthy thing because we had this group, we had this community, we had exercise, and it kept us out of trouble. And
it was entertainment. It was creative.
Yes. I loved it. And thus, I got to meet Donny Osmond at age 65.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that was a moment.
That was very much a moment. Yeah. Yes.
But I just love the fact that not only is creativity something that keeps you busy and makes you happy, but it's actually good for your health.
Right.
Like doing these things are actually good for your health. So the conclusion of this review, the evidence shows that participation in group-based arts and creativity, did I already read this?
Yes.
Well, that was the results. The results in the review are almost the same. Mm-hmm. Let me see if it says anything different.
Well, I really think that what they're getting at is how beneficial creativity can be. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm talking about the creative aspect of my life right now and how it's critical to my mental health. And they're talking about how being creative can help people who are older maintain their health.
Yeah.
Which is again, something we've discussed a lot, how critical it is maintaining your health as you get older.
Mobility.
That's longevity.
Cognitive
Yes.
function.
That's longevity. That's quality of life. Also, it can be a part of your community. As you engage in creative endeavors, you're going to meet new people. You don't typically dance by yourself. You can go to writing classes and painting classes and things like that. So there's so many levels to the creative endeavor world. And part of it is, you can do it as a transitional phase into your encore, right? What they're talking about is the third act.
Yeah.
I've heard it's called the second act. I like encore. That's a good word for it. I like it a lot.
I like it too.
Yes, because also, if I had my way, I'd be very flashy all the time. I'd, be very Liberace all the time.
Yeah, good.
Yes, because I'm very much that way. I should have been on the stage. I should be on the stage now.
You can go. Let's do it.
In a way, I kind of am on the stage.
You are.
Where's my finger puppets? No. So, I think that there's that aspect of it. You're looking for something to do to keep your purpose alive, your fire alive, that your passion alive. Then it helps you with your mental health. It helps you get through difficult times. And then on top of that, it can help you thrive into your later years. So there's a lot going on there.
And actually, just before we came on this podcast, we were discussing your mother-in-law.
Yes.
And I said to you, now that her husband has passed, do you think she might be interested maybe in going to a senior center and participating in something there? So maybe Lita should listen to this episode. Because the same with my mom. My mom does not want to do that. And I'm thinking how beneficial it would be for her to be in a community with other people her age or even younger. Like she's 86, could be a lot younger. And be creative or play games or just talk. Just be part of that community. How beneficial it would be for her health. Because right now, to me, I just see her like sitting at home. She reads a lot, but I think she needs that connection. And I think she has a fear maybe because she hasn't done it in so long, that initial fear. But I think I might, after us having this conversation, I think I might try to encourage her. And maybe you can encourage Lita too. Maybe we should just bring them together.
I know, I was thinking about that. Lita is also 86.
We need to do that. Why haven't we thought of this?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But I will tell you this. Lita loves to sing and dance. Your mother, she has issues with her hips. She's a little bit less mobile.
She used to love to dance, but
Does she sing? Maybe they could put together a duet.
Maybe.
I'll get my finger puppets in the back, and it'll be like, creative dance where you're doing that kind of interpretive dance.
Yeah.
Interpretive finger puppets. Yeah. So I think that's a great idea. Maybe we should think about that.
Yes.
That would be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That might be a good start. Just have the two of them together, and then maybe take the two of them to a senior center because they live. My mom's in like North Raleigh, and she's in Youngsville, I guess. Franklinton. So they can go to the Wake Forest Senior Center.
Oh, maybe. Well, that's something to think about. Maybe that could happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So there was another article, "The Science Behind Creativity." And
I do love the sciencey part. I don't like having to try to make my brain understand it, but that's what you're here for.
As long as I don't have to pronounce any of these words.
Well, now that I can do.
So this article was from last January, and it's "The Science Behind Creativity. Psychologists and neuroscientists are exploring where creativity comes from and how to increase your own." And in this article, they talk about it, and I love this, and I'm hoping I can pronounce this. So Paul Selly, PhD, he's falling asleep, and as he nods off, a sleep tracking glove called a Dormio, developed by scientists at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, detects his, how do you say, nascent sleep state and jars him awake. So he's just falling asleep or whatever. They jar him awake, and pulled back from the brink, he jots down the artistic ideas that come to him during those semi-lucid moments.
Right.
Now, have you heard of morning pages?
Yes.
Okay. It kind of is like almost a similar kind of thing. It's like when you're first waking up in the morning, they say that that's the best time to sit down and write before you're fully awake, before you've had time to think about anything else, and like to sit there and write down some creative stuff. And supposedly those are your most creative moments. So I'm thinking this is probably almost the same idea, right?
I think so too. Yes, that sounds right.
So he is an assistant professor of psychology and neuroscience at the Duke Institute for Brain Sciences. And he uses this Dormio glove thing or whatever to tap into the world of, this is the word, I don't know. Is it
So I think the way you pronounce that is hypnagogia.
Okay, hypnagogia. Okay. I meant to look it up before and I didn't. But
well, let's hang on a second. Let's make sure we're right before we go running our yaps here.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, how do you pronounce? Hypnagogia. Here it is.
Hypnagogia.
Oh, hypnagogia.
Okay.
Like pedagogy. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so he uses Dormio to tap into the world of hypnagogia. Is it Gogia or Gagia?
Gagia.
Okay. He uses Dormio to tap into the world of hypnagogia, the transitional state that exists at the boundary between wakefulness and sleep. And in a mini experiment, he created a series of paintings inspired by ideas plucked from his hypnagogic state. Is that right? Hypnagogic state. And another series from ideas that came to him during waking hours. And I guess then he showed them to people and made them guess which was which. And the more creative ones were during that state.
Barely awake state,
The
right?
barely awake state.
Okay.
I just thought that was like really interesting. So I'm going to try it. I'm not going to get the Dormio, but I think I'm going to try the morning pages. I'm going to try to, which I always heard about, talked about. I share it with people, but I've never actually done it.
I haven't either, but I know what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
And actually, I think Wayne Dyer used to use
Right.
that a lot. And for his books, he would get up in the middle of the night and write. He would find his most creative moments. And if you don't know who that is, he was a Hay House author.
Who doesn't know who Wayne Dyer is?
Well, I guess there are people. I don't know.
If you're 45 or older, you probably know Wayne Dyer.
Yeah. Very inspirational books that he has written, which, of course, right now I can't off the top of my head think of, but I've read most of them. Can you think of the names of them?
Erogenous Zones is one. That's one of his very first ones, right? Not Erogenous Zone. I still think about you and your dancing.
Wait a minute. Let me just look up his books. Wait a minute. So we don't sound like
The
total...
Power of Intention.
Yes, The Power of Intention. That was the first one that I read.
You'll see it when you believe it. That's one of them.
All right, let's see. I'm going to get a list here. Hang on.
The very first one was...
Pulling Your Own Strings. That was his second work. It's the idea of habitual belief systems hampering our personal effectiveness.
Wishes Fulfilled is another one. Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life.
The Sky is the Limit.
The Shift.
Yeah, The Shift. And there's a movie, The Shift, which I loved.
Yes. And it's your erroneous zones, not erogenous zones.
Erroneous Zone.
Yes. So that was his very first one, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. But he used that technique to like wake up and write. I love it. So I am going to try it.
Well, I thought that came from The Artist's Way.
Yeah. What is her name? Oh my gosh. We're so terrible here. We should have been prepared. Wait a minute.
Julia Cameron.
Yeah. The Artist's Way.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I do something like that. I don't do morning pages, but I do something similar. I try to kind of take that first few minutes when I wake up and explore my brain a little bit and just have a quiet meditative moment. But I don't write during that time period because I already have moments of time during the day that I have set aside in my mind where I'm going to sit down and work on whatever project I have ongoing. So if you're going to embark on a creative endeavor, you just need to take a minute and do it. You can pursue a creative endeavor even 5 minutes a day, or even once a week, or even once a month. Whatever works for you, as long as you're taking an opportunity to try to be creative and work on your endeavor, that's enough.
And I think that people would be surprised at the maybe psychological, emotional effects that it can have on your life beyond it just being something that you do, that you're taking the time to do it, that it's filling a time void. You know, because some people are like, oh, I'm bored, whatever. I think it goes beyond just being active in something, that it actually has this exponential effect on your life.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I really believe that. No matter what, if you try something new or if you set an intention, I'm going to work on this, you're going to get something out of it, one way or the other. No matter what, it's going to benefit you in some way.
There's just so many healthy benefits, from community to giving back to just having new experiences. And maybe for some people, it's something that they were very interested in early on in their life, that life kind of got in the way and they weren't able to continue with it, whether it be music or painting or writing, singing, dancing, whatever it is. Now's the time to take it up again. It's not too late. It's never too late.
It's never too late. And
you're never too old.
You are never too old. Exactly right. I love it.
Okay. Do you think that's a good spot to leave it? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are so many more things we could say about this particular topic. And make sure you go check out these articles. They're short articles.
Yeah.
And
there's so much more in that last one that we were discussing, more scientific mumbo jumbo, but very interesting stuff.
Now, we know that's not mumbo jumbo, Lorraine. That's important scientific information.
I know. You're talking to the woo-woo warrior. So,
well, no, you're the one who does the sciencey stuff.
I do both.
She marries the woo with the do.
But woo-woo can be scientific. That's what people don't understand.
It is scientific.
It is.
It's just the woo-woo are labels people have put on it because we haven't understood it in the past.
But I embrace it, and I do consider myself a woo-woo
warrior. Woo-woo warrior. Oh, boy. Okay. Wow.
But there's a lot of science in this, very interesting science. So if you're that kind of a person, definitely read that article.
Okay. I do want to point out, you can check out Lorraine's book and my book.
We'll put posts. We'll put links. We'll put links.
We will.
Yeah.
And my more creative works are forthcoming.
Right.
So
for
stay
both
tuned.
Of us.
Yes, for both of us. That's right.
And of course, Girlish Gurus.
Yes. So go check those things out. And if you have things you want to discuss with us or you have questions you want to ask us, please, we would love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Email us at girlishgurus@gmail.com, or you can show up in the comments, post something there. We would love to hear from our community.
And share, if you have any kind of new creative endeavors, share those with us. Pop those in the comments, and possibly we would love to have you as a guest.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We want you to be part of our creative community, and we want to do everything we can to
encourage you, inspire
you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For sure.
Be a girlish guru.
Yes, that's right. You are already a girlish guru.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for listening, and make sure to give this podcast episode a like, a share, and a subscribe. And if you're watching and listening on our YouTube channel, do the same there. Join our channel. And stay tuned for more fun episodes that are coming.
Because that social media algorithm, we need those likes and shares to be able to be out there in the world and other people be able to see it.
That's right. To create more fun content like this. Yeah. So thanks for listening.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Mwah.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Girlish Gurus. We hope you'll join us next time for more fun and inspiration. Be sure to check the description of this episode for links and information about the topic, and you can find us on our social media platforms starting with Instagram, Facebook, and now including YouTube. You can find us by searching Girlish Gurus, and you can also check out our website, girlishgurus.com, for more information on us, our projects, books, and our growing community.
And don't forget to download this episode, give it a good review, and share it with your girlfriends. We would also love to hear from you in the comments, because the more interaction we get, the more episodes we can post. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.